First and foremost, if you've made it this far into this project, I want to say thank you. And I want to assure you that what I'm about to show you is super easy and you can do all of these things and you will be the coolest guy or girl on the block if you can print suits like this and wear them around. Everybody will think you're a genius. And it's super, super easy with current technology. So let's talk about it. So this is the T60 armor. You can see that I only have one piece of everything. So like for instance, this is the front piece. There's only one there, but you need both shoes, right? So what you have to do is hit copy and paste. And now you've got an exact copy, but do right click, mirror, and then along any axis works. So now you can see you've got a left shoe and a right shoe. Okay, so you got to do that for the hands and do it for anything that has two pieces. Okay, so now you know how to get the proper pieces all together. But obviously these aren't going to fit anybody. These are at 20%. So I'll show you, they're all scaled to this model, this guy, which he is a 5'10" muscular dude. But again, you can see how it's scaled. So if you're 5'10" and you're ripped, this should fit you perfectly. But you're probably not. Neither am I. So let's talk about how we size and scale things to fit specifically us. So let's start. Let's just do the helmet as an example. So the first thing you need to do is print cosplay calipers. I have a pair. They're right here. This is me. I have cosplay calipers that you can print and use. So let's use the example of the helmet. So, okay, so let's say we measure our head from ear to ear. So let's go ear to ear. And this helmet is currently 42 millimeters, give or take. But let's say my ear to ear was 170. Okay, so what I do, you can do this online or go to an iPhone or whatever, and just say, what percentage of 42 is 170? 404.7. So we need 404.7% of 20%, right? Because it's at 20%. So now we go back to AI and say, what is 404.7% of 20%? 80.9. So we change this. Oop, make sure uniform scaling is on for this case. 80.9. Okay, so now we know, and we can check it. We can measure, and it's not going to be exactly because I'm picking different places. But there, 170. Okay, so that's what we were aiming at, and it's actually pretty perfect. So great. Okay, so now we've got the ear-to-ear dimension. But what about nose to the back ear skull? So you need to do the same thing. You need to take that measurement, and then the trick here is you need to go in and you need to turn off uniform scaling. So I'm going to turn off uniform scaling. We got the ear-to-ear. Do the same math, but you can see once you turn that off that the red dimension stays the same and the green will change. So that's good. So now let's say we did the math and we know that's the right dimension. Okay. And now we do height. And just for the sake of the argument, I'll go like this real quick because you should always orient these things like that, just like the shape of your head. So we can do the same thing. So we'll go scale and we can, again, take that measurement and scale it up and down. Now, let's say, for instance, this was the correct size. And you can see on my P1S that this falls off the edges. So even though it fits, we need to slice it up, which is also super easy. So let's do that real quick. So we'll go here, we'll hit cut. We know it's too tall, so we can split it down the middle. I'm going to keep this oriented the way it is, and I'm going to place the blue one on the cut. It's going to ask to fix manifolds. The answer is yes. It just takes a while, so for the sake of speed, I'm going to say no here, but always say yes. So now we've got that part. Let's see if it fits on the bed already. Okay, so that one's good. But this one obviously is still way too wide and long. So let's slice it up again. We'll go like this. We'll turn this up here. And then we'll rotate that like that. Perform cut. Again, click yes here, but for the sake of time, I'm going to say no. And we know it still doesn't fit because it was too wide. So we'll go back and we'll just do slice again. orient it the way we need it. Let me think here. I think that's this direction. Yep, that looks right. And then we'll do place on cut on both. Just as a tip, you can add connectors here, but these walls are so thin. At full scale, they're 5 millimeters. They're designed at 5 millimeters thick, so they're pretty light because this armor is huge. So you can add connectors here. I'm not going to. The way that you build this armor and put it together is with a plastic welder and metal staples. That example is here. So you can see this thing heats up. It's mostly used for body work on cars, and it's an amazing tool. It's super easy. So it just heats up and puts these staples inside of it, and it makes it really strong. That's all of my armor is built with those. But again, in this case, we're not using connections, so we're just going to cancel that, and then we'll place both on the cut and perform cut. Again, click yes here. Okay, so now let's take a look at it real quick. We know that one fits for sure. This one definitely fits. We can put it probably on the same bed in this case. And this one fits. So again, so now you do the same thing with this piece and then everything else. You scale it to your size, you slice it, you print it, and then you assemble it with a plastic welder. I buy a bodysuit, like a skin tight coverall bodysuit, and I mount with Velcro. But anyway, so this is it. This is the whole process. Once you've got this mastered, it'll take you an hour to figure this out, and everything will be beautiful. Good luck. DM me if you have any questions on Maker World. I appreciate you.